Hey everyone, welcome back with a new lecture with ISO 9001 2015 edition, and clause number 7, which is support. Support, what do you need to have to support processes inside the organization to improve the quality of product and service provided to the customer, and so enhance the customer satisfaction. So it includes requirements for processes you need to have in place to support quality management system and ensure its ability to provide product and service that meet customer and the regulatory requirements, and so enhance the customer satisfaction. And under this clause we have 7.1 resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. First point, resources. The organization shall determine and provide all resources required for establishment, maintenance, implementation, and continual improvement of quality management system. So all resources required to achieve the objective or the scope of the organization to enhance customer satisfaction and to provide him with the high quality for his product and service shall be provided from existing internal resources, whatever you have inside the organization already, and whatever you need from external resources, including people, infrastructure, environment for operation of processes inside the organization, environmental conditions, measures and control, and also monitoring and measuring the resources. And newly added to this edition, organizational knowledge. This point, organizational knowledge, now included also in this edition. People are the most important resource inside the organization for implementation of quality management system and for operation and control of its processes. Infrastructure such as the building itself, and inside the building whatever place required for process operation, and equipments also. Transportation also included in the infrastructure. So the organization shall determine, provide, and maintain infrastructure necessary for operation of its processes and also to achieve the conformity of products and service, including building. Building shall has enough space for the people and for equipments and for process operation. Equipments shall be provided, all equipments necessary for getting the product or high quality of the product shall be provided. Transportation, all transportation resources. Information and communication technology, which is very important also as an infrastructure. And environment for operation of processes. The organization shall determine, provide and maintain environment which is necessary for operation of its processes and to achieve the conformity of products and service provided to the customer. And I believe that a suitable environment can be a combination of human and physical factors, because I believe that if there is equality between the persons inside the organization, if there is no discrimination, that will go back also to the quality of products, because they will give more efforts. So including social, there should be no discrimination and there should be equality. Psychological, what the organization can do to reduce the stress and keep the staff inside the organization satisfied. And physical also, such as temperature, humidity, heat, light, airflow, and hygiene, and all of these parameters also shall be controlled and measured. And very important point, monitoring and measuring resources. After the organization will provide all processes with all resources required, they need output, they need the product to be with a high quality, and also they need to ensure that the product and service provided to the customer conform to the specification and to the customer requirement. So the organization shall monitor the work process inside the organization after providing required resources to ensure that product and the service provided to the customer conform to the specification and also to the customer requirement. They will add inputs, resources, and they need output, the product and service which is conformed to the specification and the customer requirement. And the organization shall have all resources or all equipments required for monitoring and measuring their resources. As example, to monitor the environmental conditions such as temperature, you shall have thermometer or data logger. So the organization shall determine and provide resources required or needed to ensure valid and reliable results. When monitoring and measuring used to verify the conformity of product and service to the specification requirement, the organization shall ensure that resources provided are suitable and maintained. Whatever you need only you should have for monitoring and measuring your resources, and also documented information shall be retained. And also for monitoring and measuring resources, measurement traceability. Traceability is very important for all organizations, to make traceability for all processes inside the organization from the beginning up to giving the result or giving the product to the customer. Traceability in ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition, it has the name of metrological traceability, and I found metrological traceability better than measurement traceability, because measurement traceability only for measurement, calibration traceability for calibration, equipment traceability for equipments, sampling traceability for so it's specific. But metrological traceability of all of them, documents, processes, calibration, measurement results, all of them to the international system of units, standard of units. And traceability as a word is the ability to trace the history. You want to trace the history of results from the beginning up to giving the product to the customer. You have all documents related to this result or to this product or to this service provided to the customer from the beginning to the end. And if the customer has any complaint about his product, you can show him all of these documents, all of these results from the beginning to the end, and he will be convinced by this. So traceability is the ability to trace the history. You should have unbroken chain of documents. All recording results shall be documented. All recording results shall be documented from the beginning to the end to be easily traceable. You should record everything, and so that it will be easily traceable to ensure the validity of results and product or service provided to the customer. So measurement traceability is very important and necessary to provide the customer with the confidence about his product or service and to ensure the validity and reliability of results provided. And measuring equipment shall be calibrated and verified at specified intervals. That means, as example, if you have balance and your normal working range using this balance always 5 gram or 3 gram or 4 gram in this area, in this case you can calibrate this balance for using weights 1 gram, 5 gram and 10 gram. So you have specified intervals against measuring standards traceable to international or national measuring standards. So you will calibrate this balance using weights, calibrated weights. These weights shall be calibrated from National Metrological Institute, which follow international system of units. And when no such standard exists, the basis used for calibration or verification shall be retained as documented information. So all equipments inside the organization shall be calibrated internally or externally. Some of them calibrated internally, such as HPLC equipment or balance or pH meter will be calibrated using a reference standard, or calibrator. This reference standard shall be calibrated with a calibration certificate, will be provided to the organization with a calibration certificate including measurement uncertainty, expiry date and the statement for traceability to SI unit, and acceptance limit for calibration or verification will be from the guideline used. Internal and external calibration. Now, if you have any equipment will be calibrated inside the organization internally, it will be calibrated prior to use by a specific calibrator, and this calibrator shall be calibrated externally by a calibration lab, accredited calibration lab, which is traceable to National Metrological Institute or International System of Units, such as the balance calibrated internally prior to use by using a calibrated weights. These weights, which are the calibrator, shall be calibrated by accredited calibration lab, and this accreditation lab shall be traceable to national or SI units. Also, all equipments shall be identified to determine their status. All equipments inside the organization shall have a specific label, including name, code or serial number, calibration date, and due date for calibration, and also the initial or signature for the person who did this calibration, whether this calibration internally or externally. And there should be a specific form to record the result. And also, if you have preventive maintenance for the equipments every 2 times per year or 4 times per year, you shall have a specific label for PM. And every equipment also shall be safeguarded from adjustment, damage, or deterioration, or results will be affected, results will be invalid at the end if the measuring equipment found to be unfit, whether calibration not accepted or verification or any other problem from adjustment. You have to take appropriate action immediately to safeguard this equipment, or results will be invalid at the end. And the last point in resources, organizational knowledge, which is very important and usually gained by experience and or training. And in ISO 9001-2015 edition, they started by the people in resources, and they finished this by organizational knowledge, which is newly added to this edition. So the people shall have knowledge and experience to do their operation or to do their activities, and also they shall provide them with the training required to improve their knowledge and improve their experience, because at the end this experience will return back to the quality of the product. Organization shall determine the knowledge necessary for operation of its processes and to achieve the conformity of products or service provided to the customer, and this knowledge shall be maintained and made available. All knowledge or all documented information shall be made available to all persons inside the organization. And the organization shall consider its current knowledge, and they shall update this. Whatever knowledge or experience they need more, they shall provide their staff or their person inside the organization with the training required. And how can the organization can keep or determine the organizational knowledge inside the organization? As I said before, that the organization shall hire or have the experienced staff who can provide or transfer his experience to other person inside the organization. And if there is any missing knowledge or training, the organization shall provide all of them with this training. And also there should be conferences and from other standards, guidelines used. Also you will get the knowledge, and you shall keep the organizational knowledge in the working instruction for any process or any equipment used inside the organization. Checklist for any process running, you shall have a checklist from the beginning to the end. Training whether internal or external, transfer experience between the persons inside the organization from senior to junior, statistics, and you can have internal knowledge or external knowledge. Internal knowledge will be from transfer experience, success or failure projects. If you succeed or failed in any project, you will learn something and you will have some knowledge, and you will determine the risk or negative effects that make you failed at the beginning in this project and you will not do in another project. External, from training, from conference, from standards or guideline used, and also assessment. From assessment you will learn something. From the customer, from dealing with the customer, you will learn something, and he will give his complaints, and you will learn something. You will identify all internal and external issues that can affect the quality of product, and you will solve these problems, so you will have new knowledge. That was the end of our lecture for today. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.